I think something to point out that is unfolding right now is sort of the newly created sort of grassroots People's Library in Pilsen, in the Pilsen neighborhood. The Whittier Elementary and the mothers of Whittier Elementary have been in a fight with both the aldermen and also the Chicago Public Schools, demanding a library, which they were promised 5 years ago. In the middle of this struggle, they decided to build and staff and fill the library themselves. So I think that's recognizing that newly created structure and institution that it serves both the community and sort of as an example for all of us that we must act as well as sort of try to appeal to political channels. I think that's a great example for everyone.
I really love the institutions of my friends and the alternative family that we've created, in particular with the babies and the kids that's being brought up, and the way we do family that's different. That includes a lot of aunties, a lot of friends, a lot of play dates at the skateboard park.
An institution I think is kind of cool in Chicago is Facet Cinematheque, which is kind of holding down the Cinematheque tradition within America, as far as I know.
I think one of the organizations that I had been working and for me what has been very productive is Street Level Youth Media, because I've seen all the people they really provide the youth services and media services and really trying to make media literacy is one of the main goals.
And some of the reasons why I'd consider it one of my favorite institutions is because Mess Hall is a unique space that embraces an alternative model of space usage. It's experimental art space, but it combines with activism, it combines with anti-capitalism or surplus economy. So it combines economics, politics, activism, art, and just...
It was kind of a hybrid process. So there was a call for contributions that went out, and then a lot of people did a lot of the editors did a lot of networking with people they knew, struggles they knew about, organizations and projects they knew about, to try to really get a broad sense of the different kinds of institutions working in Chicago now and also a little bit in the past, and also to get a sense of the different kinds of infrastructures that are being built, so to keep in mind that kind of double theme of institutions and infrastructures. And
distribution sites throughout the city. What all these places have in common is that they're real community spaces that draw a lot of people in. But we have sites on the north side, northwest side, downtown, south side, southwest side, southeast side, east side, west side, all those places. So some of the places we've been today, we hit the Co-Prosperity Sphere in Bridgeport, which is a cool art space run by the Lumpen folks. We hit the Southside Community Arts Center, which is a WPA project that is still running today. So this is the country's longest lasting black arts community center.
This issue is called Institutions and Infrastructures, and it looks at a variety of different kinds of projects in Chicago that are organizing institutions, alternative counter institutions, or working with existing institutions, trying to fill the gaps that existing institutions are leaving in the city, in the fabric of the city, and building relationships, which is one of our sort of focal points for the issue. And then also thinking about infrastructures, sort of thinking of kind of a different way of thinking about organization and building as we think about networks. So when we think about infrastructures in this issue, we're sort of looking at kind of broader understanding of the word, not just things like highways and public transportation, although those fit in there also, but personal infrastructures, relational infrastructures too. So there are a lot of different kinds of projects that are included in this issue.
Yeah, we all worked on this, the center spread, the center It's called Bad Jobs Goods Movement. And it's an introduction to how goods move through our region. Chicago's a really important spot in the country for goods movement, for like the stuff that's coming to Walmart or coming to our local store. It has to get here. And so this is an introduction to how it moves through Chicago.
In the middle, we have a few maps that look at the infrastructures around goods movement around the city. So there's one that shows the airports. So there are two major airports that kind of play a key role.
There's a great article about the Southside Community Arts Center in the issue number 10, and it's kind of an account of the Demise show and project by Fahim Majid, who is an artist and curator and is now the executive director of that institution, taking it into new life. Very exciting moment for that place and, by extension, for Chicago.
One that really particularly struck me was the Chicago Books to Women in Prison, on page 19. It's right here. And particularly enjoyed that the article ended up being a praise in a way of this infrastructure or postal services, as well as a critique of the prison system. So it was two major governmental institutions and infrastructure.
We all often settle for institutions, but we all long for community, right? You know? And so that got me to thinking about this notion of building community. And I think it's something that's actually become a buzzword today in today's nonprofit communities and today's social justice communities. We all want to build community. So I wanted to pause and take a moment to think about what does that actually mean? Even asking us to think about, do we need to reframe that? Do we need to, challenge ourselves to think of a new way of thinking about building community and a new language for it? Has it become too much of a buzzword?
Includes an article by Irari Unsueta about the work of Immigrant Youth Justice League and the organizing they've been doing around the DREAM Act, which has included direct action and coming out as undocumented, declaring their status, and really pushing the culture to respond and to acknowledge this issue that we have around undocumented people and demanding their rights. So that's a really powerful piece.
There is a saying, a chant that we chant everywhere, undocumented, unafraid. And that's pretty much just us accepting the fact that we are undocumented, accepting the fact that it's not our fault, and we're not going to stand for what Fox News is saying. We're not going to accept it and say, hey, we are criminals or we don't belong here. So we are taking a stand and saying we are undocumented, but we're unafraid, and we're going to fight for our rights. And that's what we've been doing since last year. So March 10th, here actually,